assembly for this at one of our gigs 2 weeks ago at the Clock Bar. Is this going to help? Yeah. Does it feel better? A little bit, or does it just look silly?
No, it's good.
A lot.
It helps.
It helps a lot.
For me. There you go. Otherwise, what the fuck?
It's the right color.
We need to get on with this. So, my name is James Bean. I'm a local musician and activist. Hold your applause down till the end if you could, so we can get through this. Sorry. Usually I love applause at my gigs. I'm the father of 2 beautiful daughters working hard to make their way in this world. My friend Jesse and I were the ones who first put together the original call to Occupy CU today on the International Day of Solidarity with the protesters occupying Wall Street in New York. I am so happy to see so many of us here today. I've been waiting for this protest for a long time, for at least the past 2 or 3 years. I could not believe that I could be the only one seeing what was happening with our economy and our democracy. I couldn't believe that I could be the only one who was angry, really angry about what I was seeing. What I was seeing was that our futures, including my daughter's futures, were being stolen right out from underneath us. I felt like it was time for a mass movement in our country. A movement by the people, for the people, against corporate dominance and corruption, and for the greater good. For the greater good, for economic justice, and for real democracy. And then about a month ago, the protesters of New York City began their nonviolent protest to occupy Wall Street. And despite the mainstream media's best efforts to ignore or dismiss this massive protest, Occupy Wall Street sparked a mass, nationwide, and global protest against corporate dominance. Today, here in Champaign, we stand in solidarity with the Occupy Wall Street protesters. Today, here in Champaign, we join with our brothers and sisters around the United States in big and small cities all over our country who are also having these events in solidarity with Occupy Wall Street. And it isn't just a national day of action, the building of a national movement. This is a nationwide day of action with the potential to become a worldwide movement. From New Zealand to London to Frankfurt to cities all over the United States, people feel squeezed and harmed by the global financial crisis that started with our financial institutions and our government that failed to regulate those institutions.
Right.
We, as citizens of the United States, have not only a vested interest, but a moral obligation to change this corporate dominance and greed-based economy. We have to change it, not just for ourselves, but also for our brothers and sisters around the world who are suffering as a result of what started in our country, what started in New York's financial district and in Washington, D.C. It's important that we express our anger and our outrage. We have to educate others and we have to influence public opinion. But not only that, we also have to work for real changes, the kind of changes that will break the corporate dominance and stranglehold on our nation and its economy. Many of us around the country and here in our own community believe that some of the changes we need to make, that we have to force to happen, include these. 1, we have to break up the monopolies of the too big to fail financial companies. These companies are above the law, and they are dangerous and accountable, and they have become too influential in government. There are about 20 such firms in the United States, and they need to be dismantled. A law allowed them to consolidate, so now it's time to pass a law to dismantle them. We have to make them pay their own bailouts. They need to be taxed on all their gambling and trading. We must prohibit the use of public money for private lobbying. No public money for private lobbying. Somebody that receives a public bailout should not be allowed to use the taxpayers' own money to lobby against the taxpayers' interests. Private corporations have been allowed to use taxpayer money to facilitate their own agenda in Washington. They have used our money to destroy our futures. This has to stop. And one of the most absolutely important things we have to do is this: get real campaign finance reform. We're in the mess we're in because for too long, politicians, our elected representatives in Congress and government, have been beholden to their highest campaign donors. Corporate, public action committees, tax, and soft money donors have bought and paid for our representatives year after year. We need a national movement in order to force these changes, because as Frederick Douglass said, power concedes nothing without a demand. We need an organized, strong, powerful, nationwide demand for these and many more changes. Today is the first day of making that demand, and I hope we all stick together to make that demand. It won't be easy,